This is a short musical challenge that comes in a bite-sized chunk. So you can start in this video even if you haven't watched any of the previous ones. Today I'm going to be focused on the key of A minor, and by the end of this video you will be playing an absolutely beautiful chord progression in A minor with both hands and using chord inversions in your right hand. If this is something that has always eluded you in the past, come over to the piano. I can't wait to show you how easy this is going to be. So we're going to get started today playing in the key of A minor. And this is one of my favorite keys because it is all the white notes between A and A. So we don't have to worry about any of the black notes. So today we're going to be talking about chords, particularly in the right hand. So let's go through and let's start with an A minor chord. So that's just A, C, and E in our right hand. And our left hand's going to take a break for a minute, and then we're going to come back and put it together with a beautiful chord progression. So let's look at the different notes of A, C, and E. So I'm actually going to move down here to middle C, just so we can be a little bit clearer. So the notes of the A minor chord are formed because in the A minor scale, we start on 1, and then we go up 3 notes. We go 1, 2, 3, and that leads us to a C, and that's our third. And then from A, we go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's a fifth. So if we put the 1, the 3, and the 5 together, it creates our number 1 chord. So if we think of A minor, all the A's, the C's, and the E's are going to sound great in our chord progression. However, we don't always have to play a chord just like this. This is called root position. I like to call it stacked position because they're stacked on top of one another. So let's do something. Let's take the A off the bottom. Let's keep the C and the E together, and we're going to put the A on the top. So now I have C, E, and A. That is still considered an A minor chord, even though it's not in the stacked root position. We can do that one more time. We can take the C off the bottom, place that at the top, and now we have E, A, and C. But you see, that's still an A minor chord. I didn't add anything else. But now I want you to hear the difference between the different, these are called inversions when you play them in different orders. Okay, so here's our first stacked position, root position. This is our first inversion and our second inversion. You hear that? They all sound just slightly different. So we can do this with any number of chords in the key of A minor. So our chord progression is going to go from an A minor to an F major. And so that is F, A, and C. So let's do the same thing with F, A, and C. And let's look at the different ways that we can play an F major chord. So we can do the stacked version like this, the root position. We can do the first inversion with the F on the top, and then we can do the second inversion with the A on the top. All of them are valid F chords. And then we have one more chord today that we're going to look at, and that is the chord of C major. So we have C, E, and G. So same deal. We have the stacked position, root position, first inversion with the C on the top, and then second inversion with the E on the top. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to go through all 3 of those chords, the A minor, the F, and the C, in all of their different inversions, and just feel what they feel like. Sometimes beginners get stuck right in here within about an octave, and they're afraid to go outside of the octave. This will help you with that. So for example, with our A minor, we're going to just go through, travel through the different inversions, and maybe go up an octave or 2. And then you can travel back down just to feel the different feelings of what they feel like in your hand. And you can hear how different that made the chords sound. You're going to do that for all of the different chords today. So now immediately we're going to get both hands together, and we're going to do this same chord progression in the left. So if we looked at the stacked version in the left-hand side, we have A minor, F, C, and then A minor. And if we're going to loop it, we're going to do the same thing again, where we hit the A, F, C, and then back to A. Only this time we're going to use the representative version, which starts out with an octave. So in your left hand, instead of having the stacked chords here and the stacked chords on the right, that's a little bit redundant. So we're going to represent the chords in the left. So let's do an A to A octave, and we're going to put that fifth down, which is the E. So we have our A, and then we have our F with the C in the middle, and then we have C with G in the middle, and then we go back to A, just over and over again. And you can either do all of them together like I just did, or you can arpeggiate them, which is starting at the bottom. And today we're just going to hold them down for each of our measures. So you get to choose which one you want to do. So we're going to start out with a bit of an exercise where we do the arpeggio in the left, and then we're going to try several different versions of our inversions on the right-hand side. So this doesn't have to sound like a song or anything right now. We're just going to try and get the movements of our hands in the different octaves. Let's try this out. And then we come back down to a few. Now let's try the F. And then come back down. And then to the C. And then you'll notice that my hand is just staying. Once I do the arpeggio on the left, it's just staying and not doing anything. And that's because we're focusing on the right now. And then we go back to our A. Feel those different movements, and you realize already, you can hear the potential, right, of what can happen in our right hand. So once you have gotten the exercise of putting both hands together and doing the different inversions, we're now going to try it where we do 2 measures of each chord in the left for 4 beats each. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and throughout the chord progression. And what's going to happen in the right hand side is it's going to give you an opportunity now to make a little bit of a tune using the chords in the inversions. So I'm not going to give you the specific inversions to try because that's where your creativity comes in. You could start out, for example, let's say in your right hand, you start out with this inversion. So you have E, A, and C. You just feel like starting there. And then you can hit a couple of different ones, and then maybe this E, A, and C on top. And right now, we're going to keep our chords together. We're not going to arpeggiate them, but this is just getting a chance to choose different inversions. And what I want you to try to do is to not just do what we did last time, which was to go through each of them in order, like this, to sound more like an exercise. This time, I want you to try different inversions, picking one, just using the A, C, and E. Like maybe I'll start here. And then I decide to go down to this root position and then up here to this one. And this is just getting used to moving your hands around. All right, so let's try this out and see how this little bit of a change makes this sound more musical. Now already this sounds like a little song, even though the only thing we're doing is chords. So now that you understand how I'm choosing these different chords, we're going to now think of the notes of the chords. Instead of just doing an arpeggio on the left, we're going to now do an arpeggio on the left and the right. So we can choose different inversions, but we can also continue with doing arpeggios or doing some chords together. Here's what I mean. So you can either choose to do a chord where you're playing all the notes, or you can play the notes in a different order like this. Or let's try a different inversion. This one. That's still just an inversion of an A minor. Can you see what that is? That's the F inversion. Came from here, right? And then our C. So that all came from the C chord. So let's go ahead and try to sometimes play the chords together and sometimes to play them separate. And let's see how this makes a change. So how did you do? Sometimes inversions can be a little bit scary, but isn't it great how it creates such a full and beautiful sound just by understanding the chord patterns? If you like inversions and want to try them in another key, go ahead and check out this video. It's the key of G major, and I think you're going to love it. Make sure that you stick with me on Friday as I continue to add to this musical challenge, and we'll continue for the next 6 weeks.